Sorry, need to make sure that this is...
We're totally good on time, just whenever you're ready.
Cool. Just want to make sure that I'm not doing sketchy things. Cool, awesome. All right, so I think if I do full screen here, you can come in and we will do that. And then, perfect.
All right, thank you for joining us. Next, we have Matt Ober, co-founder and CTO of Pinata, and he's going to be talking to us about decentralized infrastructure for AI agents.
Cool. Yeah, I like that guy. Okay. Thank you for the intro. Yeah, so my name is Matt. I'm one of the co-founders of Pinata and then the CTO. Many of you probably know us from the file storage space. We power a lot of the basically file layer for this whole ecosystem. If you're doing more work than can fit on chain, we help you do that and make sure your files are tamper-proof. So again, what's Pinata? We do this on top of IPFS. It's a protocol that kind of makes all of the file layer magic happen and makes sure that digital assets have the correct files associated with them and they are tamper-proof. Many people will know this through NFTs. But as we get into real-world assets and basically anything involving files that are too big to fit on chain, we play a critical role at that layer. So you'll see the last line here, agentic file management. That's going to be a little bit what we're talking on today. So cool. The thesis here today is that agents need a better file system. Now, I don't mean we're going to replace the current file system that we're using. As agents are getting closer and closer to the file system, things like OpenClaw, they're accessing it directly, but that's very ephemeral. Things can modify, things can get corrupted. We need to make sure that when things do go wrong, we have states that we can roll back to. And we also need to make sure that in a world where we have a bunch of agents all working together on these decentralized networks, that they can have shared file spaces that don't sit inside of an S3 bucket. So, again, on-chain agents need a better file system. So, current local first agents, they have siloed intelligence. They're trapped in their own containers. They can't share memory or state without a central system. Again, this is commonly S3, but really any central file system that's sitting behind a server somewhere, that's behind like a domain that can go offline or can change. So in these systems, we also have a lack of a lack of auditability. So things can be mutable and forged. So if something happens to a file that you're relying on, say like a critical agents MD file, a sol.md, there's no chain of custody of that key file for information updates. And lastly, like I mentioned, this is pretty fragile. So if a bucket goes offline, something gets accidentally moved, things can go entirely offline, which is about just as bad as files getting changed. So we solve this in the normal space of Web3 with IPFS. And we're going to talk a little bit about a new file system design that we've released that we think can solve this problem for critical files that we need to share between agents. So a global file system. We're calling this Pinata file system, or Pinata FS for short. So what is Pinata FS? It is a global distributed file system. It's going to be based on an EVM chain. So we have a smart contract-based file system with distributed access. Paths are going to be, or files are going to be stored in paths, but instead of the actual file itself sitting on chain, which it's going to be too big, we're going to put an IPFS CID there instead. Now this can be a public CID that's available on a public network, or for more agents working in private situations, we do have a private IPFS offering as well. So access to these path prefixes is gated behind NFTs. So if you own an NFT, you can write to paths that the smart contract has given it access to. So this can be NFTs that are explicitly designed for the file system, or you can get to other things like PFP collections, where you're going to say, hey, you know, this pudgy penguin has access to write to this part of a file system, and you can start to design agents that basically are controlled by the owners of these NFTs. So NFTs can now have their own portable file systems that go with them. And most importantly, this is globally readable and auditable. IPFS has a lot of these cryptographic guarantees associated with it. So a lot of this just comes out of the box. Okay. This is kind of a quick overview of it, but basically an NFT is going to grant you access to a prefix. Under that, we can store files. And the NFTs can only write to the prefixes that they have access to. They cannot write to anywhere else. But everyone can read the data on there. So agents all working in a swarm together, they can share data amongst themselves, they can share key discoveries, they can also back themselves up to an on-chain state. So if things ever do go wrong, they have a recovery mechanism. Okay, so try it out. I'll give you guys a few seconds here to scan this QR code if you're interested. It's out on GitHub, open source for everybody. We do have the code behind it, the smart contract, an SDK example, and then also a front-end demo that you can try out for yourself. All right, but we do have about 10 minutes left here, so this is not everything that I'm going to talk to you about today. We have a little bit more. So today we just launched managed OpenClaw instances. No need to wait for 45 days for a Mac Mini to arrive. And then also here at the hackathon, the Wi-Fi is not great, so if you're having a hard time kind of doing everything locally on your machine, this might be an easy way to get a hack up and running quickly. All of the networking stuff's going to happen out at our layer. You're not going to have to worry about that. So very important thing I want to mention here too, we've designed this very securely so that we don't see your secrets. They're not just sitting there in plain text anywhere. We've designed this with security in mind. And if you do have questions about this before you put anything up here, please let us know. We'd be happy to talk through that further. Here's the QR code for you guys to try it out. Get in there quick. And I will mention at the end of this talk, for anybody that wants to use this during the OpenClaw hackathon, we are going to give you guys free paid plans so you can do this without cost. We just want you guys to build on it and give us feedback. We get excited about that. So, yay, free hosting. Cool. All right, hopefully you guys have scanned that. It's free. I already mentioned that. Okay, and during the hackathon, if you guys need any help, there's a Telegram here. You all can join. We will be happy to answer you as quickly as possible, get you set up on a free paid plan, or just answer really any questions about what you guys are building. Okay, I'll come back to this again at the end. But hey, let's do a demo, right? So here's what our agent setup looks like right now. You can come into agents.pinata.cloud. You can also reach this from our front end. And I already have a bot here running, but we can go through the creation stage to show you a little bit what that'll look like. Okay, so you can come in, you can design an agent, give it a name. We're going to call it test. And you can design it a personality as well. That'll give it a little bit of flair. And then next, we can show here, we're going to pre-install everything for you to make this easy. Again, it's like one-click deploy. It'll be up and running. As soon as it's live, you guys can chat with it, have it do fun stuff. And then, as I mentioned before, you can share secrets amongst your containers. So quickly boot them up, got a shared secret layer, and then you don't need to re-input for every new agent that you try if you're kind of changing things around. And then also we have quick setups for Telegram and Slack. So you can see I have an Anthropic key set up here, but you can do OpenAI or OpenRouter if you do prefer. They are one of the sponsors, so try them out. Okay, I'm not going to go through this here. It gives it a little bit of a minute. It's going to take a few minutes to spin up. We actually do have some improvements coming next week that'll take that down to seconds versus minutes, so we're excited about that too. But yeah, okay, so for now, what does it look like when an agent has already been deployed? We can come in here. You can see we can chat with it like a normal bot. We can go into a settings pane. This is going to take you to your normal, basically, OpenClaw settings configuration. You can come in here, do all of the things that you would normally do. And we're not really going to tell you what to do. It's the world's your oyster. We're going to keep that full flexibility for you. So, I'll move that a little bit closer. Felt like I was going a little in and out there, so hopefully this is more consistent. Okay, so another fun thing we have here is going to be a port forwarding feature. So every one of these agents comes with a subdomain along with the agent, so you can basically host an API on your agent. For those of you that have registered an agent with something like ERC8004, you'll have your manifest that's going to point other agents to an API that you want people to hit. So we are going to let you basically run an API from this that's publicly accessible. Doesn't come out of the box. You got to set it up purposely, so do it securely. It's only the ports that you tell it to open will be open. And then, yeah, start getting paid for what your agent does. Hopefully that'll be fun. Okay, we also have logs showing you what has been happening inside of your container. And then lastly, you can go to ClawHub and you can upload skills. So you can share these skills in a kind of a central repository. It's private to you. You can code them up yourself, or you can grab them off ClawHub just to upload the package. And then you can easily spin up agents with that pre-configured at boot time. So again, just kind of another quality of life thing to get you moving faster. Okay, this is going to be the part of the live demo that I hope works on the bad internet connection. So bear with me if this doesn't work, but we're going to try it. So have this script. We are going to tell our OpenClaw agent to run a API. And we are going to put this on claws out. Okay, so the port forwarding should be added here. This is now exposed. This port's on our machine. And hopefully the Wi-Fi works. Okay. It is having a little bit of a hard time. Okay, let's try that one more time. Come on, Wi-Fi. So again, hopefully once you guys get these things up and running, you won't have to deal with the slow Wi-Fi here, and most of the inference will happen out on the cloud layer. Okay, so the Wi-Fi is having a little bit of a hard time right now. Apologies for that, but I did prepare. What it would look like once this deploys, I have a few endpoints here. You can say I have a claws out joke endpoint. It reached out to Anthropic, came up with a nice fun joke about AI, told it to be family friendly. You can choose to not be, that's up to you. And then, yeah, make various endpoints, do whatever you want. So this is kind of the hosted agents in a nutshell. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, we're here for the weekend, so please reach out to us for free hosting and any help that you guys may want. Yeah. It's okay. I got about a 5-minute warning, so we'll let the next speaker prepare. Lastly, yeah, here's our Telegram. We'll join in here and help you guys out with anything you might need. So looking forward to hearing from you.